Today I'm going to be turning this into this. Since I'm going to be putting in my LED light bar down in there in between the gate and the bumper area, I got a couple ways I could do this. Now, if this thing didn't have all this wiring and stuff like that, I would just basically just undo the clip and pull it back right up off there. But since I have a harness up in here, I've opted just to leave it be. I'm going to close it up, do my measurement. Make sure you get the right length. This truck right here is about 62 inches from left to right. This one here comes in 48 inch and 60 inch lengths. This strip light that I got right here is 60 inches. So make sure, go to your truck and measure first. Just like that. Nice. When you're getting one of these kits, make sure you go out in the back and check your truck if it's pre-plumbed for the wiring. This truck here has the round pin plug style as well as the 4-pin flat, which is pretty much what you can expect to find on most of these kits that are out here these days. So you can just go ahead and plug it right in there, run it out and run it underneath the truck if you wanted to, or you can do a hardwire install. And when I say hardwire install, let me explain that to you. This one right here, there's your 4-pin plug-in installation. This is the same plug that's going to mate into the female side on the truck. So you can plug that right in there, and you get this one extra lead, which is for the optional reverse light. So if you don't have the luxury of having a pre-wired truck, I'm going to show you how this wiring lays out. It's going to ground out my brown wire. You're going to have your brake light, which is your white, right there, and you got your left and rights. Now on a pre-wired vehicle, it's already going to have flashers in the electrical system, so that way when there's 12 volts applied to the left and right directional, you're going to have the brake, which you can see, look, which looks half as bright as the parking lights. When you have your running lights on, it's going to look like this. And you hit your brake, you're going to have this. And when you're just doing a directional, it's just half. Right? So that's all there is to it. You got your ground, your running lights, your left and right directional. Brake just handles itself by a combination of these two being pulsed at the same time after the flashes instead of before the flashes, which is what causes the blinker. That's all there is to it. And also, this little guy, it's got this little extra bonus lead which does reverse. That's cool, right? I like that. That's neat. I never had one of these, so I'm excited. Forgive me. The first thing I do before I get this thing installed, I'm gonna measure it and double check. Give it a dry run. Right there. That thing is perfect, man. Damn, that's good. It's gonna be a good fit. Before I even think about installing this, make sure you clean with something like this. Here is actually Windex with ammonia in it. It's a good degreaser, or you could use Goof Off or Goo Gone, one of those kind of deals. Vinegar and water will work pretty well. You can see even how new a brand new truck can get dirty real quick. You don't want to have anything in between your adhesion strip and the actual truck itself. Just let that dry up. Give it some around our workspace. Don't judge me. It's a good thing I got some steady hands. It's the scary part. And what I'm doing is I got a guide up in here, so don't think like I'm doing it blind. I actually do have a reference point. Ford was nice enough to leave me something to look at, so I'll use that. Just tear off as I go. So as it turns out, in order for me to get my plug up into here, plug it in from the front side, I'm going to have to make a big old hole in here. This is a lease vehicle and I'm not really allowed to go ahead and deface the vehicle, so I've chosen a different route. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to cut this plug off and I'm going to hardwire it. I'm going to use these T-taps that they supply. I'm just going to clip onto the back side and install it like this, so it'll be out of sight, which is of course my preference. If I own this vehicle, that would be what I would do anyway. So little bonus for you. I'm just going to look in here and you can see you got ground, you have your parking lights, left and right directionals. You just take this and go boop, 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 boop. 4 connections in a row, done. My 4-pin flat is now done. My brakes, my left and right directional, my parking lights are done. All I gotta do now is the reverse light, and I'm gonna show you how we do that up close and personal so we can give you an idea of how to get that done. And this job is finito. Okay, last part of the job is just to pull out this tail light, get that reverse light. You got to see these lights in reverse. They look like daylight. They look amazing. This is really exciting. The light bar is cool, but the reverse is so awesome. You know your reverse light's right there. Doesn't get much easier than that. So I found my target wire, green right there. Pull it back a little bit. Put that right on there. Reverse lead to the light bar. This is just the male insulated terminal for the T-tap. Put that right on there. Make sure she's nice and straight. And there you go, man. Daylight. You got to see these lights, man. These things look crazy. I love it. Look at that. That's insane. Alright, so before I button up this light right here, I'm just gonna get a piece of wire loom. I always like to loom anything I have in the engine bay or aftermarket. I like to just stay with the factory. Better safe than sorry. I hope you follow this wiring practices as well. I mean, we sell the stuff, it's cheap enough, so there ain't no reason really not to use it. And that's the difference between a professional installation and an amateur. You don't want to err to the amateur side. So there you have it. Get that done. Just grab your light. So now all I gotta do is just get down there underneath the truck, loom up that 4-pin harness, put a couple P-ties on it, and this job is done. And it looks good.